Making your presence known online while you're working from home is going to be a continual challenge for you. In this video, I'm going to give you a few ways that you can start to better make your presence known while you're working from home. Let's get into it. I can really empathize with the problem of trying to be better known while you're working remote or working from home because I am always doing one of those two things. A thoughtful comment on one of my videos about how to be more successful at work prompted me to make this video, which we're going to be going over how I manage working from home and being present, especially because I'm 16 time zones ahead of a majority of my team. So my corporation switched to Office 365 a year or so ago, and my main thing that I would get across to you if you are on 365 at work is to show up to meetings a minute or two early every time. I don't know if your company has this, and if they do, this is very effective in my opinion because it prompts people on the desktop that you've started the meeting and it will name you. So every time, if you're going to meetings, routinely showing up a minute or so early, you are always starting those meetings and it shows that you're engaged. And this is something that I've definitely noticed, and I'm usually the one that's pushing to try to get into meetings slightly early, mostly because it could be like 6 a.m. for me, because that's when meetings are, which obviously is not very great if you like to come to work at 8:30 or whatever. But for me, it works very well because it can allow me to get engaged with my team first thing when I get into the office or when I get out of bed and get over into my work from home office. At least for my work, showing up a minute or two early actually brings desktop notifications for everyone else that's in the meeting, which shows that you're present and paying attention. Now, this could be different. I'm not a domain admin or anything, so if this is some specific thing we have set up, maybe it won't work for you as well, but you get what I'm trying to get across here. So be in meeting rooms, preferably as they start or slightly early. And this will show that you are paying attention, and when people have meetings scheduled, you're always there and you're always engaged. So when it comes to more collaborative things like Slack or Teams chats, I find it most useful to find a channel or something that people are paying attention to and put something useful in there, maybe once per day or once every other day, depending on what sort of cadence you have with your group, just to make sure that you kind of have like a heartbeat. So you can send something out. I like to do calls because that's kind of how I am, but you can send things out via email or Teams just to have a little bit of a heartbeat and make your presence better known. Do you work from home and have some cool tips or tricks you could share in the comments below? I'd love to hear what others do because after the first few hours of my workday, I'm effectively in a vacuum and I can't collaborate with my people back home because their workday's ended. So most of my making my presence known is done via email. And over the course of the day, I have several hours to draft very curated email messages where I can be very concise and distill the information into something digestible for the person that I want to be conversing with. Another thing you can consider, if your manager's open to it, is sending a weekly status report. I know I send weekly status reports for my local team, so I flow my local team's progress on everything that we do every week in a very digestible template, so it can be taken by my manager and sent along and up the chain. And it's something where I'm not really giving him any work to do. So what you're trying to do here is not give your team work to do. So if you can take work on and give them something where it's like, okay, cool, look at this thing we got done, or look at the progress I've made on this thing, and pass them status that way, that could be a great way for you to show that you're getting things done, you're engaged with the team, as well as showing up every day. I'm going to make an assumption that you're either on Slack or Teams, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever your company has where you can see your status during the day, you need to try to be as available as possible on that when you want to collaborate with others. You could also consider trying to reach out to more people in your larger team over IM when you see them green. If you can just start networking that way, because then you're going to be better known. Because when it comes to promotion and raise time, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. So take that on and consider sending IMs out to a larger portion of your team, especially if you can come up with innovative ways where they can help you or you can help them with something they have to work on. If you and your entire team work from home full time, let's say, this could be an interesting situation where you need to start empathizing with your other team members, kind of figure out what sort of work style they have, if they like bursts of work or if they only want to be around for meetings and then they kind of do their own thing. Whatever it is, you need to start paying better attention to what their work habits are if you want to be better known to them. So if you're a manager, you need to get on the calendar with them, or they prefer IM, or they prefer calling. You need to figure out what they prefer and start executing on it, because that's how you're going to get better known over time. Are you ready to learn more social intelligence skills? You should check out the link in the description below and join my social engineer network on Discord. I hope to see you there.